Yo, what's going on live from the streets of New York City? It's your man Jose, aka the Dominican Dream, alongside,
It's your boy, the Maniac.
and we are ready to talk boxing. We got a guest tonight, my man Ephraim. Shout out to Ephraim. You know what I
What's up,
mean?
y'all?
Throw your gram on there, man. What's your gram?
East Serrano 24.
You already know, man. Boxing fan. He was at the Shakur Stevenson fight about 2 weeks ago. Maniac was there as well. But we're not here to talk Shakur. We're here to talk entertainment. We're here to talk a monstrosity of a fighter. We're here to talk somebody that shows up for his city, that takes risks. Jaron, Boots, Ennis, coming off of the systematic, that's what you call a systematic destruction of David Avanesyan, common opponent, common opponent in Terence Crawford. Terence had a couple tough rounds with him. The dude is tough. He comes to fight. He comes to give it his all. Armenian, those guys are tough, tough people, decent boxers. He did his best. But Boots, as we all knew going into the fight, proved to be too much, too big, too strong, too good. Sean, you were there live. Talk to us, man. How did you see it? Talk to us about the vibe, about Philly finally, about promoters finally putting on a fight in Philly, which was 20, 30 years overdue.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, the atmosphere was through the roof, man. Philly came out for Boots yesterday. It was an amazing, amazing atmosphere, man. Wow, the energy. Once Boots was coming out with the Undertaker song, forget about it. Everybody just went crazy. And just people there to cheer for the guy they like, but it was just different with Boots. It was just something different in that air when they were cheering for him. And man, I got goosebumps. I haven't really felt like that, until the times I was in the Garden at a Cotto fight against Clotty, and when he fought Jennings, his first fight back from fighting Margarito, that first fight. But anyway, man, look, Boots lately, homecomings haven't been too homecoming for fighters.
Mhm.
Either they put up a dud or they lose. And Jaron Ennis made sure he wasn't gonna lose. He put on for the city of Philly, man. And Boots kind of just alluded to what the Dream was saying, man. He comes to fight. He's a come forward pressure fighter, but he has skill. He's like a technical brawler. That's what I kind of see him as. He like to get in there and mix it up, but he's not reckless. He's not stupid. But once you in the pocket, right, fighting that style, you're gonna get hit. That's just part of boxing. You're not going to be in that close of a range with a fighter and not get hit, especially someone like Avanesyan, who's tough. But Avanesyan is that the only thing he had to win this fight was to outdog Boots. And Boots is just too big of a dog for Avanesyan. But he tried though. He didn't come to be an opponent. He came to win and he tried. And that's what I like to see from opponents. He didn't care. He was fighting in Philly in front of 14,000 fans. He said, I'm going to try to beat this young kid. But he just couldn't. Boots show again why he is one of the best fighters in boxing, period. Right? He's not on the pound for pound list, but he is making strides to get on that list. And he did what he was supposed to do. It was destruction. If I'm not mistaken, Avanesyan suffered some rib injury. I don't know if it's broken. I don't want to misquote. And the jaw, he might have did something. I don't know if it's broken, but it looked like he got jumped. It looked like three people beat him up, basically. So that's that, man. Ephraim, go ahead, brother. What you saw? Talk
I
to
saw
us.
the fight. I mean, it did look good. I mean, he also tweeted that he felt like there was some things that he could have did to be a little bit better. But I mean, other than that, overall for homecoming compared to what we've been seeing, he put on the show. So it was nice what I saw.
Definitely.
All
Um,
right, all right. Hopefully you guys hear me all right. Me, alluding to what you said, Maniac, I think that Jaron, Bruce Ennis. You mentioned something about Jesse Bam Rodriguez being an artist and being, he's painting you a picture. Boots is exactly the same, except, I'm not gonna say except because Bam is aggressive. I think that Boots is definitely another artist, man. He's another Van Gogh, Picasso. Just it's just he does it violently, violently, and he showed up and showed all. He was throwing three punch combinations with one hand, you know, upstairs, twice to the body, or one upstairs, back to the body, back upstairs, and having fun in there. He's a guy that has those fast twitch muscles. And like a cousin of mine said, for failure, Ray, you've been watching boxing since before I was born. He said, this guy has the ability to do the same thing Shakur can do, right? He has those fast switch muscles. He has the ability, you can see it, to be defensive, the way he moves. We've seen it before. He can both, make you miss, but he loves to make you pay. So instead of fighting that kind of fight and outboxing somebody, he also has the power to destroy you, you know. So and he does that. He don't wait around. He don't, oh, maybe he should go for it. He's not going for it. He's the guy you don't have to worry about that, man. He's gonna come to do what he's gonna come to do. He's gonna take advantage of every opportunity. And and so much so that sometimes if he doesn't even take advantage of certain opportunities, Sean. What do I mean by that? By that I mean that even when the opportunities aren't there, he takes risks to create them, which is why he gets hit. People saying, oh, he was a little rusty. Sure, he was off for a year. Maybe some of that. But when you are that aggressive and you're trying to put on for your city and you at home, sometimes you're gonna be a little overly aggressive. You're gonna risk yourself to get hit in order to get yours in. You're gonna to be Manny Pacquiao, to be Mike Tyson, to be those offensive juggernauts. All of them got hit. Why? Because they're so offensive. When you're that offensive, all right, they say Shakur don't get hit. Okay, why don't he get hit? Because that's all he does. That's all he does. The defense. He's he's 80% defense, 20 offense. Boots is the opposite. So when you that kind of fighter, you gonna get hit. Shit, y'all talking about Crawford pound for pound number one. He was getting hit just like Boots was in that fight with Avanesyan. You know what I mean? So shout out to Boots for performing, for looking fantastic, for looking great. Sean, there's a guy out there who we're putting the blame on him, but it's a good blame for trying to fix boxing. That's perfect out of the and you already heard he gave Eddie that phone call and said, "What's up? Can we make that happen?" And if anybody's gonna make that happen, it's gonna be him. Talk to me about that, about the possibility of that. I think that it's a bit with Turkey. He's not the type of dude that, yo, what's up, man? You got some of your homies. Yo, what's up? What you doing? What you doing right now? All right, we gonna link up. And your homie don't show up and something happen with Turkey, not that type of dude. Turkey the type of dude that he tell you, yo, I'm picking you up 11:30, we out. He popping up. He's showing up. He don't cap. He got everything that he's been talking, he's backed it up. Exactly. So I think that he could definitely make that happen. And honestly, I don't care to see Unified 147. There's nobody there. Barrios, we know what he gonna do to Barrios, right? Stanionis to me is the only good and competitive fight at 147 pounds, and I don't think Stanionis has a title, does he, Sean?
He might have been elevated for the WBA. He was the interim. Remember, for so long, it's the interim. He might have been elevated. I have to double check because remember they all got vacated. So I'm looking at it. They saying Terence Crawford's the WBC champion in recess. So Barrios is currently the champion, the WBC champion at 147. Brian Norman is the WBO interim. right? And then Boots is the IBF champion. So basically, it's you could say the WBA is Stanionis, the WBO is Norman, and the WBC is Barrios, and then you add Boots being the IBF. Now, as fact is lucrative fights at 147, I think that those are the most lucrative, right? Because Crawford is not there, Spencer's not there. We got to be realistic, right? Unless someone like Tio comes up and say, "Yo, I want to fight this guy," which is not out of that won't be out the norm because Tio is known to do stuff like that. But they are pairing him with Brian Norman. That's why it looks like it might be happening for Tio at 147. So don't be surprised if you see that down the line. But
So who is Brian Norman and what do you know about him?
so Brian Norman, yeah, he's a tough. He's an African American fighter. He fights. He's from Georgia. He's the dude that folded Giovanni Santion recently. I mean, folded him, beat him his style. He beat African American fighters. We know they slick punchers, and he fought them straight,
He was
express straight.
leaking. That guy
Yeah,
was
he
leaking.
he bodied him. That was a body, bro. That was straight. That was, bro. That was murder, first degree murder, right?
Definitely.
So he might be a little too green. People say, well, he got a belt. We don't want to see that. Boots is already 32 fights in, right? We want to see him in fights that we know that needs to happen. And what needs to happen is, of course, he's going to either unify. I'd rather see Conor Benn than any champion at 147, honestly.
Or Stanionis as well.
Stanionis, no,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
reason, and the
He might
reason
be a tougher fight than kind of guy.
the reason why I say Conor Benn, lucrative for many. Conor Benn, he still got that O, just like Boots does. Plus, Conor Benn is from where? The UK.
UK.
And anybody knows when they travel, they peoples travel with them. He'll have 5K in the Wells Fargo. 3,000 people from the UK will be in that arena, bro.
But let's keep it real.
I'm just saying. I'm
That
just
fight
saying.
won't happen here. That fight will happen over there because Money got a bigger fan base over there.
But no, I tell you now. After last night, Dream, if you was in there, you'll see.
Yeah,
And
I
then
don't
you
know.
get
The UK is the UK.
no. We know,
They gonna bring 50,000 people out easy.
but what I'm saying is, he brought up 14,000 yesterday against Avanesyan.
No, he did great. He did great.
14,000. So
He did great.
imagine someone like Conor Benn. You gotta add another 8, 7, 8K to that. They might have to open up room because, like I said, they travel.
Yeah, but you got to remember about value. Who has the most value in their career right now? So far, money wise, there's been Connor. So he's gonna get denied. And you know, Boost don't care if that's in Connor's kitchen, at his house, in his backyard.
We'll see what happens. And if it's not, like you said, Stanionis, Barrios, or Norman, then he got to go to 54 because Crawford is
Yeah,
not
but
fighting.
all right, but let's be real. Again, the people at 147, who
So
would
it's
want to see him
Barrios.
fight Who would want to see him fight Barrios?
No, I'm just saying. Well, I think we kind of throw Barrios to the side. The guy only has 2 losses. Tank and Keith Thurman.
What does he present as far as any kind of value for he got knocked out by Tank, bro. What does he
Yeah.
possess for any kind of 135 pounds?
So yeah.
What kind of value does he possess? Again, you remember he's 32 fights in. He don't need that. He don't need that.
Well,
That's a sparring partner, man.
it's a belt. That's what it is. It's a belt. It's a unification. He becomes a
Yeah, but he's wasting time. Time is
yeah,
precious.
all right, but it'll be wasting time with Stanionis because it'll just be a belt as well. He don't need
It won't be wasting time because that'll be a true test because he's actually a tough, good tough.
well.
He's a better fighter than Barrios is.
Stylistically, no. Stylistically, Barrios is a more challenge because he could box. He has a jab. He has a real good jab. Stanionis,
he gonna get folded, man. He gonna get
he
folded.
is. I'm not saying he won't, but I'm saying Stanionis is gonna come. He's gonna
Yeah, but
come
he got
Avanesyan.
he got power. He ain't no
Yeah,
Avanesyan.
but in his last fight, you saw his last fight against Maestre, against that Venezuelan. He didn't look too crazy.
But I don't know. I think him fighting Mario is just a waste of time.
Look, this is what I would say. I get it, what you're saying, but I think stylistically, Stanionis, he's just a tough fighter, man. He's gonna come right in that line. I'd rather somebody
But
that's gonna move and box.
he presents the threat of having actual power, having being able to do some damage to Boots. As to where Mario's, we know he's not going to be able to do any damage to Boots.
Yes, but he's gonna make Boots will have to go find him. Opposed to Stanionis, it's gonna be Roman Villa again. Trust me. Again,
I don't think so. I think listen. Even if he goes quicker than Roman, he might go quicker than Roman, but in those rounds that he's gonna be fighting Boots, Boots is gonna be taking a bigger risk.
yeah, but again, why I look again? Remember, this is just opinion. I'd rather someone that with experience. But has Stanionis been in someone in there with like Keith Thurman? He never been in no one there like Tank. Barrios is experienced. He's been in there with a lot of tough fighters. He's an experienced veteran. I'm not saying he beats Boots. I'm
He's
not
a
saying
C
he
plus
beats.
fighter. Everything's in
Well,
the C. He's a C plus fighter.
so then that's
Stanionis is at least a B just by looking at him. Just the eye test lets you know he's a B plus. Just the eye test alone.
that, but he beat nobody. Is what I'm saying. But anyway,
You
look,
can't beat nobody. They don't put nobody in front of you. But I hear you. You know, I mean, I think it's gonna be 50-50 on that. You know, I just don't find that it's like putting it's like putting a little dangling a piece of meat in front of a lion. If you put it Barrios in there against him, that's how I feel. Yeah.
we'll see, man. Styles make fights, bro. I'm telling you. You know that. You know, he won't beat no. Listen, I don't believe no one at 147 right now will beat Boots. Nobody. None of
No,
the champion,
none.
none of them. So, but if you heard, I don't know if you heard when they were speaking to Eddie Hearn, this guy, Chris Mannix, he was like, yeah, we would love to fight with Crawford, but we still have business here at 147. You can see Bozy Ennis, which is Boots' father slash trainer, and he's like shaking his head, like, yeah. So it looks like they're gonna waste time at 147, try to unify. But no, I'm
There's
just saying, but but you know what plays a factor? Money. So if you know the price is right, and Turkey says, listen, come up here, let's
that's
do
it.
it. And I'm
That's
good.
it.
And listen, I'm okay
That's it.
with that because Booth, it's time, bro. He's 30, I believe 32 and 0 with 28 night quills. Yeah, papi, it's time. It's time already. So
It's a little unfortunate for him because he hasn't really been able to scale up the ladder, right? He hasn't. He's gonna go from a C plus fighter, B fighter. I don't even know if he ever fought a B fighter, all the way to pound for pound. So since this dude is fighting next month, I say Boots, get busy as soon as you can. I don't mind him taking any other fight as soon as just to stay busy because he hasn't been able to scale up the ladder, man. He hasn't fought a Danny Garcia. He hasn't fought. He hasn't had the opportunity to, you know. So I would like to see him fight someone else before Crawford. But again, you said yeah, but you know, Boozy was like yeah. Again, if they get that phone call, though, ain't nobody turning Turkey down. They not turning him down. If he say, yo, I want y'all fighting over here December, January, you know, y'all don't even gotta ask him how much. He tell you the price. He tell you the price. You just say yes or no. So if that's the case, if that if that fight happens, how do y'all see it? You know how we do here on the round table. We don't waste time for predictors. You know, hypotheses, hot takes. Terence Crawford versus Boots Ennis talking.
I take
yeah,
Crawford. That is by decision. That's about it, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no, definitely, man. It's funny because they fight very similar. They have very similar styles. Crawford is not as aggressive as Boots is. You know, he can be at times because Boots, he's just right off the bell. He's coming forward and he's letting them hands go. Crawford is notoriously known for starting slow. He'll come in, he's warming up. He kind of like Tank. You know,
Just like a tank. Just like a tank.
he's losing these rounds early. Bing, bing, bing. And then, you know, of course, he's one of them. He's one of those fighters. In order to beat him, you have to walk through the fire, right? But that's how Boots fights anyway. He fights through the fire. So it'll be a very interesting fight because you got the young lion, right, versus the old lion. Crawford don't got too many years left in boxing, but he's still in his prime, man. The way he fights, he still got it. So if I'm picking today, right now, I gotta go Crawford. But I mean, I'm talking about it's gonna be a hell of a fight. It is. It's, yo, that shit is gonna be. It's. I see it like this. That will be a fight of the year candidate because again, Crawford. I've mentioned it. He's stubborn, and what I mean by stubborn is that he could beat you from the outside. He could beat you on level one. I'll fight you from that. No. Oh, you tough? All right, say no more. Then let me see how tough you are. And he's gonna bang with Boots. So that it'll get interesting there, man, because Boots hits hard, man. And no, he's not the one hitter quitter, but the way he breaks you down and every punch he throws lands with bad intentions. Bad intentions. He doesn't throw the setup, probing jab. It's like hang, hang, hang. You can see it. I'm like, damn, bro, like, yo, he hate life or something. Cause he just the way he throw is bad intentions. But I'm gonna have to go with Crawford, the veteran who's been in there, the experience. I think that'll carry him in this fight. And I don't see him stopping Boots, but I can see in a case where they both drop each other in the fight. I can see both of them hitting the canvas because we've seen Crawford wobble many times. Should have been called a knockdown against Kavalaskis, but it wasn't called. So I gotta go. I gotta go with Bud, man. It's hard to pick against him, but Boots has a great chance of winning. But I gotta go Bud. Decision, just like Ephraim. I go a close, unanimous, or split.
Well, I'm gonna give my breakdown. I think that that's a real close fight. I think that's a 50-50 fight. When you match everything up, when you match everything up, Boots has more advantages over Crawford. Power, speed. Crawford is fast too, but I think Boots being a little younger, more slow. He can do everything Crawford can do. Crawford has one advantage, and Boots has the power advantage. But Crawford has one advantage over Boots: experience.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Experience. And that to me is the only thing that would worry me if I'm betting on Boots. That means is the experience. Because Crawford, he like to take you. Crawford is similar to an alligator. An alligator. You know, he don't need to take you in deep water. It could be shallow water. But you know how the alligators, you all you see is their eyes. And all of a sudden they come out and snap at you. You know. His one of his best things is his element of surprise. He's quick with that. He's losing rounds, he's getting tired, and then, you know, he comes out one round and says, nah, I'm gonna get you in this one. Or I'm gonna show you what I got. And he's quick to it. Remember, what's the punch that hurts you, Sean? The one you don't
Don't
see.
see coming.
And Crawford is very good at lulling people to sleep and then hitting them with that surprise shot. But but when you look at Terence Crawford's record, he has never fought anybody with the attributes of Bruce Ennis. And
You can go down the line and correct me if I'm wrong. He never fought another explosive knockout, extremely fast, aggressive, um, African American snake fighter. He has he has at 147, his resume at first was weak because he wasn't at top rank and they wasn't doing business with BBC. He was able to get whatever he could. Jeff Horn, Kalinowski, everybody in front fighting for to do with the 1 foot Benavidez brother. And then he fought Sean Porter. And both you and I, Sean, Sean Porter's the dog. You both had Sean Porter either even fight or maybe up a point or two when Crawford got the stop. So basically, Crawford didn't do anything different than anybody else that fought. Um, Sean Porter up until the knockout. Sean Porter is going to give everybody a tough fight. Errol Spence. Errol Spence basically won off with a knockdown. Danny Garcia. It was a tough fight. Danny Garcia, what happened? He don't let his hands go. Sean Porter did more. He won the fight. Um, Not me. Forget what the dream saying. Forget what you saying. His own corner told him, yo, they're saying you down right now. They believe it. They saw it from what they saw in the fight. They see you down right now. Crawford got off his ass. And yeah, and then with that surprise, he said, I'm gonna take it to you. I think with this guy, it might be a little more than a little different. He has the speed, he has the power, and he has the tools, man. He has the boxing ability just like Crawford. I think it's a 50-50 fight. The edge and youth to Boots and the edge and experience to Bud. But I think like I mean it's hard to pick here. But I'll go out on a limb and I'm gonna go with the younger guy with Boots. Either by stoppage or decision. Don't matter.
All right. I mean, it's fair. I wouldn't call it. I gotta give it more leaning towards Crawford, man, because same way you say that he has never fought anyone with the skill set of a Boots, but he's been in there with very, very tough good fighters. So it's not what Boots is gonna present to him is not gonna be nothing different. He's not gonna be like, oh shit. It's just gonna be this fight, honestly, is gonna come down to dog. This is gonna be a dog fight. It's not about who got the more skill, who used the angles more, who you know. This is gonna come down to who has more dog in them. Because trust me, they're both gonna fight with pride. This would be a pride fight, and they're
Now,
and that's gonna be crazy.
now that you're saying that, man, this might be this might be the new Hearns Hackler. This might be the new Hearns Hackler because we expected that in the Errol
Spence,
Spence fight, but in the ring, we know it didn't look like that. Spence possessed no very little resistance in that fight, but with this dude in his prime, making weight, having no problem making weight, and it'll be at 54, so he'll move up, and
he's a
it might
big,
be
he's a
it,
big
it,
dude.
it
He's a
might be
big
even
dude.
better for him. So I don't see
Yeah,
him having any problem with that. Now, we're here predicting and analyzing, but Crawford has a fight lined up next month, so we still have to see how he looks. Because remember in boxing, get old overnight. And if he has a tough fight with dude, it's like, damn, I don't know, that was tough. He's looking a little old. Then things are different.
So
Things are
you have to see the fight on the third in order to see which what I'm saying, which side you're gonna take.
no everybody. I already said I would favor Boots in that fight, but everybody has to see it. Everybody's gonna make. Remember, in boxing, you're only as good as your last fight.
Yeah.
So everybody after they see that, if Crawford comes out and blasts this dude, they're gonna be like, yeah, they're still gonna favor Crawford. Most people.
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
and and what I would say, Ephraim, is that Also take into account this is a new division for Crawford, right? He's never fought at 154 pounds. This is going to be his first fight there. So that's why we also want to see how he looks, how his power looks at 154. Does it carry with him? The movement, the punch resistance, all those things play a factor when you
Yeah.
move up, right? Those are the things we're looking to see. Now, of course, on paper, I don't think no one is picking against Crawford in this fight. But this could be a fight. I mean, like Dream Set, where we could be like, oh shit, Crawford won, but yo, Madrimov, yo, gave him work. So let's just see. And even if he does, right? Even if let's say Crawford struggles, that still doesn't mean Boots beat him. But it'll give people say, oh, you know what? I'm gonna favor Boots now. Right? Some people right now say Crawford, but if Crawford struggles in his fight in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks, the fight is they'll probably favor Boots. But regardless, that's the beauty about the sport. It's a subjective sport. We all have our opinions, but at the end of the day, the only results that matters is when they step in that ring and actually fight each other.